Hey Hotshots, Jess at the Emotional Fire Academy here today to talk about the experiential layers to reality. We're going deep down the rabbit hole today. Welcome to Emotional Fire Academy. My name is Jess. I'm so glad you're here. This is where we activate our heroic consciousness and make suffering optional. Do amazing, epic things with our lives. Welcome to the channel. So, today is kind of a culmination of some of the things that I have figured out in dabbling in reality creation and manifestation, and kind of where I'm taking the channel is getting into more of the stuff. Because I think part of being a hero and being able to do amazing things and have amazing things show up in your life is learning this stuff, is learning manifestation and learning and taking back the level of empowerment that is lost in some of the old thinking habits, old thinking patterns, in believing that there is a giant world out there, that you're a tiny little cog in it. You know, you have to believe in something bigger than yourself. And sometimes that means realizing life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. It really is. This is kind of what I'm realizing. And as I experiment with this and test it, it's becoming more and more true. So let's go. Let's do it. Subscribe to my channel if you like what you see and you want to hear more and how to take more and more control of the dream, because that's the whole point. We all want control. We all want power in our lives. We all want to feel empowered, like we can do anything. And that's what I want to teach you. Because emotional mastery is one component, and then this is the next. Once you master your emotions, this is kind of the next step. So this is a more advanced teaching. So it starts with your I am. This is essentially who we are on a base level. The I am, the awareness. We are an awareness. We're an awareness. If you want to experience this, close your eyes, stop thought just for a few seconds. Ignore your senses just for a few seconds. And that presence, that pervasive, calm presence, that's the I am. That's your core awareness. That's just your awareness resting in itself. That's who you are. Your I am. At the end of the day, that is always there. It never goes away. It's always with you. You know, it's very solid. And then it kind of splits into your conscious and your unconscious experience. The conscious elements are the ones that take some creative effort, right? They take some energy to generate. They are in our awareness. They're in awareness. The unconscious elements are what we've assigned to autopilot. We've put them there, whether or not we realize that, but we have put them there. We have assigned them to autopilot. And we can start taking back more and more of the autopilot stuff. And we should, because a lot of the times, even though we put that there, it was things that other people gave us. We picked up stuff along the way, society, our parents, ideas, beliefs, and then we put them on autopilot, and they run in our lives. We're going to see more example of this as we go through, breaking down these layers of reality that we experience. So the unconscious it's not some mysterious thing. It's not something that we can't access. We can totally access it. It's there for us. We put everything there ourselves, but we just didn't realize that we did. We didn't realize that we gave that permission for things to run. And then they kind of become very invisible to us because they're on autopilot, right? They're automated. So, and then the actual layers of reality. So we have imagination, we have our sensory reality, our 3D, and the dream state. So think about how you create a dream. How do you dream? How do you generate your dreams? Like if you think about it, it's entirely 100% auto-generated. When you're dreaming, your unconscious mind, assuming that this is how it all works, your unconscious mind is totally constructing the dream state in real time as you're experiencing it, right? It's all contained within your mind, for lack of a better term. And as you're experiencing the dream, you're just like, oh yeah, this is normal. This is normal. And often the imagery is very odd or strange or different than what maybe we see in sensory reality. But it's 100% contained within us, within our head, within this experiential realm, right? That we then kind of go through. We generate this avatar in the dream, our own body. We then auto-generate our own body in the dream, that we go through the dream and go through the motions and emotionally react to it. And we have 5 senses: taste, touch, smell, hearing, sight, in the dream. And it's indistinguishable from reality, right? When we're dreaming, we often don't know we're dreaming. It's just like, oh yeah, this is normal. This is reality. And then we wake up and we're like, whoa, we wake up. We wake up into the next dream, right? Let's go to the top before we go to the middle. So this is 100% self-generated. We make this. Our unconscious mind auto-generates it for us. And we live it. That's why it's completely unconscious. Up here with imagination, kind of the same deal. When we're imagining, when we are in our heads imagining things, we're consciously doing the same thing. We're consciously generating this type of landscape that we're then experiencing. We're experiencing ourselves, experiencing it in this landscape, and it's completely self-contained in our own heads. Now, if you haven't read this book, I've mentioned this so many times on my channel. This book will blow your mind. She talks about simulation, and that's the word she uses for imagination, but how, we simulate our reality all the time. A great example of this is, when you find yourself fighting with someone in your own head, when you find your mind is deeply in running through scenarios and trying to figure something out, and we're constantly simulating. We're constantly in our own imagination. That's that 90% predictive capacity that I talk about. Like, seriously, read this book. This will blow your mind. Because this is all self-generated as well. So then we come to sensory reality, sandwiched in between. Because sensory reality straddles the nexus between the conscious and the unconscious. So if this is 100% contained within our awareness, this is 100% contained within our awareness, guess what? This is 100% contained within our awareness. We can't experience anything outside of our own awareness, outside of our own I am. We can't. It's impossible. That's the whole point. Our awareness contains the whole breadth of our experience. So, but then we add senses on top of it. When you think about it, when you're experiencing the outside world, whose senses are there? They're your senses. They're your senses. So really, the outside world exists within your senses. It's a waking dream. It is a sensory reality, a dream contained within your senses that you get to interact with, right? You get to touch, taste, feel, but you can do that in these realms as well, and they feel completely relevant and real in the context. When you're in the context of either one of these, they're totally real. Same thing with 3D reality. It feels very real because, oh, well, my senses are telling me there's a lion in front of me and I see it and I'm reacting to it. Yeah. But you're making it. This is your dream. Your 3D reality, what you experience, the vessel it is contained within is your I am consciousness, your awareness. Your awareness is the vessel. And it's no different than imagination or a dream state, but the added bonus is your sensory data. You get the tangible sensory data on top of it. So, this is big. This is to come on board with this means a lot of things. It means that you're making your reality. You're consciously generating your reality, right? And it's just like in a dream state, you know, how you're making the dream. Your unconscious mind is making the landscape for the dream. Same thing in 3D. Your unconscious mind, if left to its own devices, is generating a landscape for your senses. There's nothing outside of you. There's no big giant world outside of you. The world is inside of your senses. The world exists only within your senses. And so this waking dream, we start to learn how to influence. We start to take more conscious control of the waking dream. And we're already doing that with simulation. When Lisa Feldman Barrett in the book talks about, you know, we're running these simulations to, okay, if this happens then this, and if that happens then this. We're already doing this. People are already doing this naturally. You're doing this naturally. Manifestation is actually, you know, really calling it out and intentionally saying, I am going to create this in my reality and this is how I do it. You know, it's just a very latent way, or not latent, but a very obvious way of stating, I am going to start taking control of this sensory dream. It's kind of like learning how to lucid dream at night in your dreams, like learning how to bring that conscious awareness to the dream state. And these can all, you know, you can also have imagination run on autopilot. Like I said, sometimes, you know, in the past, I used to find myself arguing with people in my own head on autopilot. I wasn't even really consciously thinking about it. I was aware I was doing it, but I wasn't consciously generating it. So these are all things that we're doing naturally and kind of unbeknownst to us because they're so natural and so commonplace. So, this is how you create reality. And as you start to clean up what's in your unconscious, because your unconscious, you know, is in charge of this. We've relegated certain things to our unconscious, and so, you know, our beliefs, our conclusions, our truths, our habits. And so that's what's going to create reality for us. It's going to create this sensory reality for us. And as we, as manifestors, as creators, start to take back that power and intentionally place things in the dream, intentionally, you know, clean up the autopilot programs, then these change. These all change. All these levels change. The dreamscape will change because it's auto-generated by the subconscious, by the unconscious mind. So, do you want to change the sensory reality dream? You want to see your whole reality change? You need to clean up. You know, this is where it's happening, in the unconscious. That's projecting the landscape. And then our conscious effort, our waking effort then is, you know, the actions we think we're taking that are affecting, the action doesn't matter. What we do, it's actually what we believe is going to come from what we do, what we believe. That's what creates in the dreams, in all of these dreams. Oh, I think, you know, if I do XYZ, I'll get this. if I don't really believe that I'm going to get XYZ by doing that, then that's what's going to transpire. That's what my subconscious will project into the landscape. So, let me know what you think. This is where we're going. This is how it all works. And it's really exciting and it's really fun. And this has huge implications. If you acknowledge that this is a waking dream, that reality is a waking dream that you can start to shape and mold and interact with in different ways than you have been, that's where the kind of magic happens. That's where you're like, wow, this is true. Like, it really is true. You start to see the synchronicities. You start to feel more in control, and you start to realize that the power really is yours. You've always had the power. You always will have the power. And taking it back, taking the things off of autopilot and cleaning up your beliefs, your habits, so that that landscape that's projected into whatever dreamscape you're in is the best it can be, the most pleasant, and learning how to leverage these different realities. Like I love to use my dream state as a indicator that I have successfully planted something in my subconscious mind. So when I'm manifesting a specific person or a specific event or a thing, when I have a dream about it, in the way exactly that I want to see it and experience it in my 3D reality, I'm like, ding, 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 I got it. I landed it. I supplanted it in here. It's now shown itself in here, and it's just a matter before it seeps into that dream. This is another waking dream, just a different waking dream. So yeah. So let me know what you think. This is kind of why I moved away from talking about HSP stuff, because of this. Because if I'm in charge of this, if I have total control of this, why would I ever create being highly sensitive? Why would I do that? I wouldn't. I didn't. I stopped. That's how I stopped. I'm just like, I'm not doing that anymore. That's like not even, I'm not putting that in my dream anymore. So, and this is the fun, like realizing that none of this has the gravity and the weight and like this heaviness that I used to assign to reality of like, oh God, like reality is so hard and and it lightens it up. It lightens it up. It makes it more fun. It makes things more flow more. You're just like, okay, this has as much weight as a dream or my imagination. It's all a different dreamscapes. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.